Puerto Rico was shafted by the United States. And as Americans, it's time we wise up to it. So ever since Bad Bunny's halftime show and all the buzz leading up to it, I've been doing more research and of course listening to his album. But there's one song in particular, Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, which means what happened to Hawaii, which really got me thinking. And I did more research into how Hawaii became a state, and then of course how Puerto Rico is now a territory. And so I want to give you a little bit of that context. So in 1898, the Spanish-American War ended and Puerto Rico was ceded to the United States as a territory. Fast forward to 1917, the Jones Act was passed, which gave Puerto Ricans United States citizenship. But there's one part of that act that I didn't know about. Specifically, it's like this weird maritime rule where Puerto Rico cannot get goods from other countries without it coming from a US port first. So for instance, if another country wanted to send Puerto Rico goods for them to import, shipment would have to first go to Florida or another state, but let's be realistic, that's the closest one, and then from Florida to ship to Puerto Rico. So all of their imports are costing way much more money, far more expensive than they need to be because of this weird act. And that's just one example of how the United States has basically made it far more difficult for Puerto Rico to thrive. With what benefit? Puerto Ricans, despite being US citizens, they don't have statehood, they can't vote. And so that's my big thesis here, is Puerto Rico gets citizenship without representation. They pay taxes without representation. That's literally getting the short end of the stick. Fast forward, the United States gave all these corporations tax benefits to conduct business in Puerto Rico, which boosted its economy. But I believe back in 1996, we just stripped all that away. And their economy was left with what? So the United States, despite having territorial claim, what is it doing for Puerto Rico? And then we saw what happened in 2017 with Hurricane Maria. The Trump administration failed, utterly failed with the support after the hurricane. It was a complete devastation. So again, you're seeing a consistent theme. We've now had territorial claim over Puerto Rico for over a century. And what's there to show for it? We've pushed out native Puerto Ricans. We've tanked their economy. We don't provide support when they need it the most. And they still don't have representation. That's all. And obviously, this is just from my research. If you're a Boricua and you want to chime in this conversation, I'd love to hear from you. Or if you want to share this with other people for them to weigh in too. I just think it's time Americans need to understand what's really gone on.